What's good, y'all? It's your boy Will Powers in the building with another weekly live stream. And today's topic for the live stream is going to be how to effectively set daily goals in life and with women. Since the last one was more purely about women in game, this one is going to be a little bit more about personal development with a little bit of game, a little bit of stuff related to women sprinkled in kind of in terms of how we're going to be tying it all together. What's up, George? So yeah, without further ado, let's just get right into it. There could be a lot of value in this one. I'm excited to give you guys this because this is some really powerful shit. So, how to effectively set daily goals. We're going to start in life and then we'll go into women at the end. So how you effectively set daily goals in life is, first of all, you have to have your yearly goals and your quarterly goals, which I already talked about in a previous live stream, not last week's. Last week's was the how to physically escalate the right way. So if you go back before 1 week before that, then you can check out the live stream I did a little bit around how to set yearly goals and quarterly goals and things like that. And that's the first step, because you got to be clear about your yearly and quarterly goals, and have targets and deadlines for all of those things. And that's really, really important. So that's step number one. Once you have your yearly and quarterly goals, then what I did not include in that live stream, which is really, really key, is you also have to have, a system for taking action on a daily basis. I talked about reviewing those goals, the quarterly goals and the yearly goals, on a weekly basis, and that's really, really important. You definitely have to do that to keep yourself on track, but that's not enough. You also have to be thinking about then each day and each week, what are you trying to get done towards those goals, and you have to have a system that allows you to execute on those things and to prioritize the right things, because life is crazy. We're overwhelmed. We got so many different things that are biting for our attention, demanding our attention, things that we have to take care of, deal with, and depending on what your life is like, it can sometimes feel overwhelming and like you don't even know where to begin in terms of tackling your goals, especially your bigger goals that aren't just like the immediate daily urgent, like just life, just handling and managing life things. So the way you do this is, first of all, I highly suggest you guys get like a whiteboard or something of that nature. Put it on your door, put it in your room, put it somewhere where you're going to see it and actually use it every single day. If you don't want to do that, or you don't have that, then you can use a pad and a pen. That's fine. But a whiteboard is really powerful for this system. So what you want to do is you want to start by thinking about what are your highest priorities in your goals, right? Which is what you've done already with your quarterly and yearly goals, and you've probably circled what are the primary goals in each of those categories. Then you have the quarterly, then you're breaking that down. So then you should be working towards those big quarterly goals every day. So what you want to do is you want to think about what is going to actually move the needle in your life towards those goals. And you want to prioritize that as the number one thing that you're going to write down for your daily goals. So when I talk about daily goals, it's a little bit different than a to-do list. You're not just writing your things you have to do for the day. You're actually thinking about what are the bigger picture goals that you're working towards, and you're making time for those every single day as your top priority. So, and this is hard to do, but if you can discipline yourself to do this, it makes all the difference in the entire world. So there's a ABCD system that I learned from Brian Tracy, actually, and he probably learned it from someone else, but that's the first person that I learned it from. I know a lot of different people within the self-development community use this system. But so basically the way it works is you want to be prioritizing your tasks alphabetically. So you want to have A tasks, B tasks, C tasks, and D tasks. And E actually goes all the way to E. So obviously A is the top priority, B is the second top priority, C is the third priority. And then D stands for delegate. So if you want to be able to delegate any tasks that you don't have to do, that are taking your time and that would be better done by someone else who either is better at doing those things or can get all of those things done while you can focus on bigger, more important things. So delegating is really important. And then E stands for eliminate. So you want to eliminate any tasks that are unnecessary. A lot of time we spend in life as human beings, we tend to sometimes spend a lot of time doing things that don't need to be actually done, that are unnecessary, or we spend a lot of time doing something really well that doesn't really matter if it's done well or not. And so that's not a good use of time. So this ABCDE method is extremely powerful. And then you want to go one step further, and you want to be actually numbering these letters. So you have A1 tasks, and then A2 tasks, and A3 tasks, and then B and everything else. So, and the way that you organize all of this is you create a master list. So your master list would not be something that you would put on your whiteboard for every day. It would be an ongoing living document where you're constantly adding things to your master list. And then you're prioritizing within that master list, what are A items, what are B items, what are C items, what are D items, what are E items. And then you prioritize that accordingly. And then you go one step further and you do A1, A2, A3. If you want to, you can go down the whole line, B1, B2, B3, all of that. Then it gets real crazy. But really, if you have your A1s in order, A1s, A2s, A3s, that can keep you really, really on track. Because then you're not doing the idea and the rule is you never do a B task before you do an A task. So even an A3 task would come before any B task. And we would never do a C task before a B task, and the D task would be delegated and the E task would be eliminated. So it's a very, very powerful method. Now, how do you put this into practice? It's simple. You take a look at your quarterly goals and your yearly goals, as you should be reviewing every single week, and you go into your which you're pulling from your master list as well, if you're doing it more in terms of a weekly and daily basis, because you're pulling from that master list. But these are all on the master list. Those should be items that are aligned with your quarterly goals and your yearly goals, right? And then what you want to do is you want to take the items at the top of those lists, the A1 items, A1, A2, A3 items, and you want to be putting those up on your whiteboard for every single day. And actually what I like to do, which I think is really, really much better, is you don't do this each day, you do it the night before. So what I do is every night before I go to bed, I go to my whiteboard, I check off all the things I did for that day. And really you want to keep it to like 3 to 5 things. You don't want to go over 5 things if possible. Really 3 would be great. You can keep it 3, but sometimes there's a lot of really high priority tasks you got to get done. And so you might go up to like 5, but you don't really want to go past like 5. Like 5 should be like the maximum amount on a daily basis that you have on your whiteboard. So you want to every night check off those things that you did, so you can have that sense of accomplishment, checking those things and knowing you had the discipline to stay on track with your highest priorities. So you check those boxes, and then you erase them, or you can do it as you go through the day if you're home. Like, I'm an entrepreneur, so I work at home a lot. So I'll like check the box and then I'll move on to my next task, which is a good feeling as you continue to accomplish the things that you're trying to get done, and you're actually being disciplined enough to stay on course. So you check those boxes, and then you erase at the end of the night. You erase those, and then you think about the night before. Tomorrow, what are my highest priority tasks that I need to execute on, right? And you use the ABCDE method. The A1, A2, A3 tasks should be the very highest on the list. And that's what I usually do, is I write out the A1, A2, A3, and then sometimes I'll even do like A4 and A5, or I'll do B1, B2, right? If I have 5 tasks. So that's how you effectively set those goals. And then what you have to do is, it takes a lot of self-discipline. When you get up in the morning, after you whatever little morning routine you have, which is, really good. You want to have a morning routine. I'll make another maybe live stream on that another time. But after your morning routine, you want to go directly, you want to tackle your A1 task immediately if you can. And that's why it's really good to get up early in the morning, because if you get up really early, then you'll have extra time. Like if you have a 9-to-5 job, you can still spend an hour knocking out your A1 task before you even go to work. So that's a really powerful way to set and execute on your daily goals. So yeah, and then the other piece of this is just to make sure, again, that you're following the rules, that you're not doing the A2 before you do the A1, you're not doing any B tasks before you complete all the A1 tasks, and that you're really adhering to that and being disciplined, which is hard, because sometimes the A1 tasks, they're going to be the hardest things to do. They're going to be the things that take the most effort and time and energy, and they also a lot of times will feel the least urgent. Sometimes you have to make an A1 task an urgent thing, like that has to get done today. Like, okay, that's the first thing that has to get done because it's like there's a time sensitivity around it. It has to happen, and that's fine. But ideally, you want your A1, A2, and A3 tasks to be bigger picture things, especially the A1, that are going to move the needle forward in your life towards your biggest quarterly and yearly goals. So for me, and to give you some examples, for me, it might be A1 task might be writing out the script for my next YouTube video, or filming the next module of a digital program that I'm in the process of developing and creating, or writing a chapter in my ebook or something like that. Those are kind of like bigger picture. They're going to move the shit forward, because once those things are really moving, then that's when it's going to, take things to the next level in my life. And I know that I have to make those the top priorities. I can't do a bunch of like little things that don't matter before I tackle those really, really big projects. Those have to be #1 priority. So that's really fucking key. So we'll leave it at that for now for the daily goals. If you guys want to, chime in the comments of this live stream, you can talk about anything that helps you set your daily goals and execute on your daily goals, or just let me know if you got value from this live stream. What was your biggest takeaway? How are you going to apply it to your life? How is it actually something that that you feel like will work for you? Or if it doesn't work for you, then you can talk about what you do that does work for you. Because again, and I'll talk about this a little bit more at the end of this live stream, I really want this group to be a community of engagement of everybody that's in here, to really be supportive to each other on your journey to become the best versions of yourself, the best men, the most evolved men, stepping into our fullest potential that you can possibly be, and helping others in this group. So I want to create a community where we can all be supportive of each other in that journey, and really help each other take shit to the next level. I don't want you guys to just watch my live streams and be passive. This is about taking action. I want this group to be about taking action and creating a community of engagement with everybody in here. Okay, so I'll bring that back a little at the end, but yeah, like I said, comment in the comments around what you're taking away from this. And now I'm going to move into how you can apply this to women and your goals when it comes to women and game. So really, it's the same shit. If game is a big goal for you right now in your life, if creating abundance and choice with women is a big part of what your goals are in your life right now, and which it should be, if it's something that's important to you and it's not what you already want, like you don't have what you already want in that area, you need to prioritize it and make time for it. So you want to be very, very methodical and in terms of how you're setting your goals around game and women, because otherwise it's kind of arbitrary. You're just shooting in the dark. So maybe like, I'm going to go out and do day game for like 2 hours once a week or some shit. And not only is probably that's not enough time if you're really new at this and you're really trying to build a skill, but also it's just not clear enough. So you really need to be clear about what you want, so that you can then create an effective map of how to go about getting that, right? Because It's only when you really know very clearly what it is that you want for yourself that you can take the proper action to manifest that. And it has to be very specific. You have to be very specific in terms of what you want, what kind of woman you want, what kind of women you want to be dating. Or if you want a girlfriend, what kind of qualities does she have? Or if you want to date multiple women, how many do you want on your rotation? Or if you want to learn how to pull the same night or same day, how many times do you want to be able to do that this year? Have numbers and have deadlines, right? That are all part of your quarterly and yearly goals. And then you can go out and effectively execute on those things by putting them on the whiteboard every day as another item. So it could be, maybe that's either 1, 2, or 3 item for you to, instead of like go game for an hour, it's approach 10 girls, right? Approach 10 girls. Use this opener. Practice 3 different openers. Interject sexual verbals into my conversations in every approach today, right? Be very specific about what you're working on and what it is that your goal is, and make it very specific and write it down as a checkbox with a letter and a number, like I said. And then it's going to give you like when you go out, you're not just like, oh, okay, I'm going to go approach some girls. No, you're like, okay, I'm going to go out and I'm going to approach this many girls. I'm going to work on this aspect of my game in every approach. I'm going to work on pushing the interaction forward. I'm going to work on leading. I'm going to work on pushing myself out of my comfort zone and doing things I haven't done before, like actually pulling a girl on an Insta date, or, for some guys, it could even just be asking for the number, because that can be like a huge thing if you've never really fully committed to doing it. Whatever it's going to be, right? The point is you want to be very specific, and you want to have a clear map of how you're going to execute on those goals. So again, the fundamental components are knowing what it is you want, getting really, really clear about that, and writing that down. When you write it down, man, it's like when you decide what you want, that's very powerful, because the word decide has the etymology, the original etymology of that word. It means to cut off any other possibilities. So when you make a decision, and that's why it's really important to be decisive as a man, and understand that when you make a decision, that's something you need to take seriously, because it means you're cutting out the other possibilities and options of reality except for that thing that you're deciding on. So you make that decision, and that's really powerful, because then the whole universe conspires to deliver to your doorstep what you want, as long as you take effective, consistent action towards that goal, without ever, giving up. But ultimately, you want to be taking consistent action towards towards very specific goals. So you have to know what you want, and you have to be very, very clear on how you're going to go about achieving those goals and getting what you want with game and women. Otherwise, it'll take you literally 10 times as long to build the skill set and to get the results you're looking for. So make sure that you're actually being specific about what you want. You're putting it on the whiteboard as a daily priority, an A1, A2, or A3 task. And again, be very specific in what you write down of what it is you're working on that day, how many girls you're going to approach, or what. And again, this should fold back into your quarterly and yearly goals around like, what is it you're wanting in your life when it comes to game and women. So yeah, hopefully all of that makes sense. You guys want to give me a thumbs up or a heart or whatever, or comment, let me know. Does that all make sense to you guys? You guys feeling what I'm talking about? You guys ready to go apply this shit to your life, get results, take your shit to the next level? Good. That's what's up. So pretty much going to leave it at that. Like I said, I really want this group to become more of a community of engagement. I don't want you guys to passively just watch my live streams. I want you to take action. This group is about taking action, supporting each other in your journey to become the best man you could possibly be, and have, the results in game with women that you really, really want. So what I want you guys to do is really start engaging with each other in this group, man. This group is a resource for a lot of guys who are on the similar path, similar wavelength, on the same journey. So utilize this group as a resource and connect with the other guys in here. Find wings that you can go out with. Post like I saw Supri did that. People were responding. You see, like if you put out there and if you're looking for certain people in here to connect with, to go out and game with, or even if you don't live in the same space, that you can just connect with and just be supportive, hold each other accountable remotely, whatever it is, it can be very, very powerful. So don't underutilize the resources in this group. Let's build that community and that engagement. And yeah, I want you guys to really, I want this to become a place where people can come and they'll feel like, okay, there's a lot of people who are supporting each other and who are adding value. I don't want to be the only one adding value to this group. So let's all start adding value, okay? Like I want you guys to go out and then put your, post your results, post your field reports, post video field reports, ask questions. If you ask questions, I probably will answer, as well as other people who have some experience, because we've got different levels of experiences in game in this group. So yeah, so I really want you guys to like be active members in this process and take action and put this shit into action and let's talk about it. Let's get engagement going. All right. So yeah, that is how you effectively set daily goals in life and with women. So go out and do this shit. Go get your whiteboards. Get very, very clear on what you want and execute. And you will start to see results quicker than you can imagine, because of the fact that you're taking an effective approach to this shit instead of some arbitrary, unclear, random, half-assed efforts and attempts. All right. So I really want to hear about your guys' results from applying what's in this live stream in the comments. And I will see you next week with another live stream. Till then, Will Powers signing off. Peace.